JustPearlyThings committed the one mistake outsiders can ill afford: getting too comfortable. What's up, it's your boy Cintron, come back at you with another reaction video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. And also, let's do some analysis today, but specifically, we're speaking on JustPearlyThings, the monster in the machine. Monster used to be in a good way, but she's just taking this red pill content seriously, and produced a mass number of channels, just gotten in good with the algorithm, and took talking points that she learned from and ran with it. And this isn't a personal knock, this is just observation, just things that you witness. But used to be a proponent of hers, a supporter, but yeah, you gotta call things as you see them and as they are. So we're gonna hit a few points here. First, starting out with the outrage is here now, but she spoke previously on something she was poorly versed on before: reparations. And this is when personally I had to drop her as a subscriber. I'm like, you're here in this black space, the black manosphere. Specifically, she put herself in London and surrounded herself with, black YouTubers, black space, black people, making content primarily with them, with us. And, she's coming from the pull yourself up by your bootstraps community, that people that are disillusioned to think that hard work is all it takes, when systematically, things have not worked out, have not been structured to work out in our favor. And yes, the people that eke through the cracks that are black or of other ethnicity to fight against the circumstances to overcome them and end up being successful in America, those are the anomaly. You can't hold up the few and use them as the gold standard to where we should be, because a lot of people are gifted with a hand just from birth, and you can fight against your circumstances, but it takes a lot to fight against the hand you've been dealt. And especially when you've been dealt a severe handicap, redlining and financially, systematically, law specifically designed, and things structured to put you in a certain place and to keep you there. Yes, it's your job to, as an adult, to recognize things for what they are, but it's hard to fight against indoctrination. You could say, whatever, everybody has a fair chance, but the fact is that it's not. Some people start here, some people start here, and then the traumas and all those things you have to shake off. Just not given a handicap, just from jump. Everybody's not being able to fight through that. People are gonna fall into the cracks, into the well-designed traps that they're supposed to be led into. They're led into, and that they're supposed to, the routes that they're supposed to go. So that's a whole other conversation in of itself. But she's speaking on reparations, when everybody else has gotten reparations. The Japanese for what they went through, and when they were inside the country. The Jewish, even though it should have been just the Germans paying reparations to them, that's a whole other story. The native people of America, that were here before the settlers, the colonizers came. Everybody has gotten theirs, but the black person. It's just that in itself speaks to a lot. And it's you didn't work hard for it, and what did you do to deserve it? It's about balancing the scales. That means that everyone that currently benefits from the way America was set up should give back what they received. Even the white, the white Slav owners, receive reparations. What did they receive reparations for after the Civil War? If it was, um, if that, that wasn't a valid point, why should they be compensated? And the people who are actually formerly property, 3/5 of a human, receive nothing, especially not where they were promised. What was it 40 acres and a mule? Yeah, that shit fell through. So I mean, just speaking on something you're ill informed of, like even like in the UN survey that they did, report that they had came out. Yeah, they said the full-blooded American, whatever it is, FBA adults are owed some recompense for the history that America benefit off of. We just didn't. It's almost like people go with the ideology, run with the ideology that just in a vacuum America just became a superpower. It was off of labor that people weren't compensated for and were forced into. That was brutalized. They were brutalized over. About being a cog of the machine that they were never fully, never rightfully compensated for and treated poorly. I mean, to underscore the points, she said, with, the guy she brought in, Nick Fuentes, like, well, it wasn't as bad as people. Yeah, Roots, even if Roots was an exaggeration, it was an under-exaggeration of what actually happened. I mean, the black body was commodified down to the skin, teeth, the bones. I mean, work. What do you call it? Other, means like it was just. It was like buffalo. Every single piece or inch was used. So just ridiculous. That viewpoint. Anyway, number 2 here, Obsidian's vantage point. It was disappointing to see him defend her, but not surprising, given that the manosphere defends its own, and that in itself is a whole other conversation. You can't just because you like somebody. We're gonna get to that later, but accountability. But anyways, Obsidian defended her, and it was just ridiculous. I don't have to have a heart-to-heart with her or someone to see, hear, or detect intent. And you don't know her heart. She employs a lot of black people. What do you do for black people? He was coming at the Jason Black. So just because somebody employs people that look like me, they're free to say, do, behave, act however they want. That sounds like back in the day, like when going back to the 1800s, 1700s. Just because somebody was treating the house slaves good, they should be able to do what they want with the field slaves. Just because you treat some Negroes better than others, you have a license to to treat the others just however you want. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, she laughed at the expense of black people. She made jokes at the expense of black people. And yeah, you can't just dismiss that. Like, you have to address it. And just because you like somebody, just because she's employed people. Hitler didn't kill all Jews. He treated some people fairly. So that doesn't mean he wasn't all around that bad of a guy. Like, it's crazy the mental gymnastics you go through to try to justify, what she said, or her motives. And like, I don't care about motives. I care about what I see and what I hear with my own ears and see with my own 2 eyes. So I mean, it gets into our next point. Um, the one clear mistake with Nick Fuentes that that we can clearly say Pearl made, with him being a member of the Yucks, the Young Unruly Cracker Kingdom Society, was the comfortability. Like, she looked at ease, and like I could juxtapose that against yeah, she was with in pressure situations. She also had sit down with Hafiz, and she's like and it was just like her trying to get through it, and it wasn't necessarily that she was comfortable, and she just tried to stay calm throughout the interview, but and that's on her to to defend herself, and not stay neutral just because someone is trying to be domineering in your space. Nonetheless, that's up to you to to speak up on your own behalf and defend yourself. But also, and here on the flip side, someone you can't feign ignorance here. You can't say that you just it's going along, and it wasn't all that bad. You objective point of view, sure, but not only to offer zero pushback. Like you were agreeing, with what he was saying, not in your head. Okay, yeah, cool. But what points did you make to push back against what he said, to disagree? I mean, if you're just going along, you offer no opposition. That means you agree with this guy's ideology. I'm not saying even that makes you to his level, but it certainly puts you in the same group somewhere down the line, somewhere along the line. And then you adding in jokes about CP time, and then it just it was going towards the effect of making him comfortable, and offering no resistance. Sounds like looks like you guys are buddy. And perception is reality, whether we like it or not. It's damning, to say the least. Damning. Your body language, and also you look relaxed. You look at ease. You look at home. And especially on social media, perception is motherfucking reality. And especially you could curate this content, whatever, but you didn't edit, or you just put that out there. And we're gonna take the liberty to slice it to pieces and analyze it for all it's worth. And what we saw didn't pass the smell test. It looked like bullshit because it was bullshit. I mean, he also made the comment about, like I said earlier, slavery not being that bad. And yeah, you say that, but then like I said earlier, black people were commodified. Skin was used as leather to made shoes out of. They used to use our teeth as dentures, hair as stuffing. Actually, we made people were made clothes out of fabric. To what level you have to dehumanize a person to do that kind of shit? I don't know if that was in Roots or not, but that is far worse than anything I saw in Roots. Then the buck breaking and the grape, and we know for without irrefutably, without a doubt, that shit happened. Hell, that's why Thomas Jefferson has family that actually link back to him. We could test the fucking DNA that are who are mulattoes, because he had proclivity for black women. It's just if you're gonna say that, you gotta shoot down the whole ship. But that just underscored the opposition's point. You saying it wasn't that bad when actually it was a lot worse than what you're trying to shoot down or you're trying to refute. And then I guess supposedly, let's get to the next point. You're all about accountability, right? You're, of the red pill, and the red pill essentially means that you're looking at the truth for what it is. Like you're not trying to paint it through favorable light, or look at it through rose tinted glasses. You're seeing it for what it is. But you have yet to speak on this, and you seem to be just trying to play it off and let it ride, let the storm ride itself out. Like seeing that you commented on different places, like, oh, this isn't really what I said. You're trying to play the innocent card. You're not innocent in this. You're complicit. He didn't. He might have DM'd you, whatever, but you thought it was a good move to bring that man on your platform to speak on this issue. With either you hold the position to hold him accountable, say, hey, like, what I'm saying, you're pushing against black people, all this stuff. Why are you like this? Or you bring someone in that's going to debate them, but you don't just let them have free reign, and then not only fan the flames, but you add a little bit of gasoline to it yourself. So like we saw MTR, he came out and condemned you, said he got to wash his hands of you and the content that he was looking to push forward with you, with dating series across the pond and all this stuff, and all that footage he shot around London, giving his his thoughts on the trip and all that stuff. He's got to throw it away, because you are not someone that he wants to do business with. You're not representative of the person that he's of the person that he sees himself working with, like a character. Melanie King said that if she'd have known that you would have you're moving like that, would have never came out there. Regrets going out there. Bad look. She gotta disavow herself of you. So yeah, people that are gonna defend you all stuff, but King Riches that you work with, Sarah Garvey that you work with, Auntie Jenny that you work with. I checked all three of their channels, and it wasn't shit that they posted addressing this. And people in the comments, people want to know, black people in the comments. It may have been other races as well, but when are y'all gonna talk about this? What do you think about this? How does it make you feel as someone who collaborates with her heavily? And you can all their money, all because you're trying to reach the next plateau. You think about the next step. You come into the space and doing what many people often do, especially people who are of this complexion. Come in, suck up all the resources, use it for what it is, use it as a stepping stone, and move the fuck on to bigger, brighter, higher places. It's nothing new, and we let it happen. So that's on us. Like, you come into the space and be a grifter, be a chameleon. That people that Chaos, Kevin Samuels warned us about. Soft girl era. This is in that same mold. But yeah, like I said, those around you aren't speaking up on the issue at all, and their silence is deafening. You could say that it could be counted as a vote of no confidence. Like I said, they're just trying to prioritize their money at this point and just try to, man, damn, why she had to say all that shit? But I can't just come out and speak out against her, because we work in the same space, share the same studio, same circles, and then the backlash and all that stuff. But it is what it is, man. I'm looking forward to see if they actually do, because at some point they're gonna have to, or risk losing supporters and all that stuff. But we'll see what comes of it. Obviously, she's trying to just ignore it, act like it didn't happen. I also want to see what the lead attorney has to say. The lead attorney. I hope you doing well. But this is the last point I'm gonna get to. But I'm thankful that she said it. So at least the Italian girl who's in the studio at the time, was, I don't know, running the ones and twos, the soundboard or whatever, during the interview of the filming of the Nick Fuentes interview, she had the ovaries to speak up about it. She said, "You're disgusting, sir. You're disgusting. And as Italians, we don't claim you." He's like, "We don't claim you because you're sleeping with a black man, like taking that bit." But and then you saw like this was the encapsulated everything for me. Pearl looked uncomfortable. She's like, why am I here? If she could open a transfer portal into from the ground and sink into it and be anywhere else but where she was now, she could do that. She looked absolutely like she did not want to be there. She was squirming almost. You could see it, like she just wanted to sink to her skin. And I just told it all for me. You're uncomfortable with her speaking about it because in your, in the fiber of your being, in your soul, that this is wrong. And what you're doing it for a money grab and try to move your platform up to the next level, move to the next plateau. But was it really worth it? Maybe. But who knows? I'm just a guy.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like.
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.